this question, but I'm very interested in your answer. It's an amalgamation of a fun question and a serious one. Going back a couple million years, our species and the modifications that we see in ourselves right now as far as the physical modification changes. In your opinion, what would you say in 2 million years or 3 million years, how we might modify physically, if at all, anything? And like I said, I just appreciate your point of view on it. Secondly, this is for Professor Dawkins. Where do you get your ties?
Answer the second one first. That's great.
The second one, my wife Lala Ward paints my ties. They're all hand painted on white. So they're a unique one. On the first question, looking forward 2 or 3 million years. If you look backward 2 or 3 million years, what you see is something like a chimpanzee on its hind legs. So our ancestors of 3 million years ago would have been members of the genus Australopithecus, and they had a brain about the same size as a chimpanzee, but they walked on their hind legs. So the dominant trend during that time has been for the brain to blow up like a balloon. So the question I suppose you're asking would be, would that trend or something similar carry on into the future? Will we have in 3 million years' time great big huge brains like the Mekong? I don't know whether you have that in this country, some science fiction. Reflect that in order for that to happen, it has to happen by natural selection of genes. What's happened during the past 3 million years, on average, in order to produce the increase in brain size, is that the brainiest individuals have been the ones who've had the most children.
Okay. Let me give my take on that. I think I can match that. But first of all, I think one of the things, in fact, Richard said in the movie, evolution natural selection can't plan for the future. So it's not as if there's a direction, I think. I mean, people think that, maybe you'll think that we're sort of the ultimate, that somehow we're the natural selection has led inevitably to us, and I don't think that's true in any case. There's no evidence of that. So it's hard to say what's going to happen. And and as far as predicting the future, I make it a point not to predict the future for anything less than 2 trillion years, okay, for which I'm reasonably comfortable. But having said that, when it comes to brains, I think what's obvious, one obvious direction that's happening is machine intelligence. And if you were to ask me to speculate, I see it is highly likely, I would think, and whether it happens this century or not, that machines will become self-aware and self-programmable. And it will be hard for biological systems to compete with that. So will the dominant intellectual species on the planet, if one such a species exists, in the future be humans? If they're humans, they will have to have, in some way, amalgamated, in my opinion, with machines. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So if you ask what the dominant evolution of intelligence would be, I wouldn't be surprised in the long run if it resided in some merger of biology and machines. But we'll see.
I look forward to a time in the future when a hall like this is filled with robotic silicon machines, speculating, looking back to some dawn age when just possibly there were soft, squishy, wet, organic things that might have given rise to us.
But then there are going to be machines who say there's no way. God created all machines on the